her while she was making her acceptance speech. It was really like a beautiful thing to see during Women's History Month, no less. So I thought that was pretty dope. I guess the biggest surprise for me is that I actually enjoyed the performances. Usually,
Yeah.
it's kind of hit or miss, and I felt like it was an entertaining night. I mean, I don't know if you wanted to get to the best performances later down the line, so maybe I should shut the fuck up. But
Yeah, let's hold off on that for just a second because that's kind of its own thing. But I will say, I
yeah,
will just to kind of piggyback off that for just a second. Part of the reason why I don't watch award shows anymore is because performances have just fallen off. The performances used to be the reason why you watch live shows, and for the last few years, for me, I haven't felt compelled by any of the live performances to tune in live. Now, going back and watching some of these after the fact, I definitely feel like I missed out. So next year or the next award show, I probably will be there live. But all right, but yeah, keep going. Is there anything else you want me to kick it to somebody else?
I also just want to say I felt like they did a good job with it, given COVID and all the guidelines and protocol. I felt like they were, like they found a really creative way to pull it off. And the only other show that I felt like really was dope in that way during this time were the BET Awards. And when I looked under the hood, I discovered that the same producer of the BET Awards produced the Grammys.
Ah,
So,
okay. Now it's all starting to
yeah.
make sense.
So we saved the day again. And the world.
All right, Baylor, what did you think?
The most surprising thing about that was that I was actually getting a live text from Mary about the award show because I didn't watch that shit either. I don't watch the Grammys or the Oscars. I don't care for neither one.
Okay,
honestly.
that's fair. All right.
We got vodka water on that
Marquis.
But I would salute all the black artists and the black actors and actresses when they do win.
Yeah.
When we get to our later topic about Nas, that's probably part of the reason why I don't watch that shit.
So, I'm gonna jump on that, and my whole, my thought process. Anytime we do something, when black people take over, especially having a black quarterback, I'm rooting for them. So I 100% agree with that. Yeah, there's a lot that's going to come out in this show that I had to process looking at the Grammys. I will, again, we're going to touch on Nas. I think that's great. I think the biggest snubs, and as much as I didn't care for the album, I think The Weeknd did kind of get snubbed. And maybe they saw the performance during the Super Bowl and was like, nah. Busta, again. Busta got snubbed. I looked at his nominations, and he's never won either. I don't know how that's possible, but he's never won a Grammy. Taylor Swift, I mean, are you surprised? So I'll say this. Okay. I'm going to say this. I appreciate what Taylor Swift is doing, done, and what she's redoing. So she's tackled on a whole new genre, from pop to country to now folk. And it was actually a good project. I'm not going to knock the project. It was a good project. But the fact that she took the company and got the rights to her music by re-recording it, again, another artist who had to fight for who got fucked when they were younger, had to fight for her shit, but she could afford to do it. She surpassed, survived the test of time, stood the test of time and things like that. But again, I wasn't really surprised. Everyone knew that. If she has an album, she's going to win. If Beyonce has an album, she'll win. But if Taylor Swift and Beyonce come out with an album, Taylor Swift's going to win. And if Adele comes out with an album, she's going to win. That's just how it is. So I would love to know the criteria for, like you said, Baylor, the Oscars, the Grammys. What's the criteria to win anything in these, these awards, so-called awards? And I guess the argument is, why do we have a Soul Train award, and why do we have the reason we do, because we get snubbed for shit. But so take it away.
No, I mean, as far as like sizes, there weren't really many surprises looking back at it. Like, for me, you guys know how I felt about The Weeknd's album. Like, I don't consider that a snub either. Now, you mentioned Busta, and a perspective I have on that is that would Busta have won if Nas's album didn't come out this year?
Depends on what the criteria is. Because
But,
overall, I thought
but
it
he
was
was
a better album.
right.
No, he wasn't nominated.
No, he wasn't nominated. But I mean, you would have to think that if not, like, okay, so if Nas's album came off, let's say Nas didn't release an album, what is the next logical thing to take that album's place? It kind of has to be Buster, right? Or am I missing something?
You would think.
Well, I mean, Mac Miller came out with an album. That wasn't even nominated. Like,
Okay.
there's so many albums that came out last year. Like,
Didn't Freddie
compared to
Gibbs
the albums,
didn't Freddie Gibbs have a good album?
yeah.
Yeah.
Your point to that, if they did throw Buster in over Nas, because if Nas didn't come out with an album, that means they throwing us a bone.
Okay.
They're throwing us a bone. I mean, okay? So the category, we're going to talk about this too, was created in 1996. You get what I'm saying? That's the hip hop category. Whoever is the people basically saying this is the best hip hop has to offer this year. Who are these people? Number one. Number two, you're basically telling us this is what the best is. These 5 albums, and I swear to you, they sound like they say, you know what? Let's throw Nas in here because we gave him shit. Be a good look. And like you just said, it wasn't Nas.
You know, I think we might need to do a deep dive of like all the nominees from '96 until.
Oh, I got that.
Oh,
I pulled that up.
okay.
Prepare that right now.
I'm not gonna do that now. No, you don't want to do that now. Trust me.
You
You don't want to do that.
All right,
it's
cool.
gonna get ugly.
Because we got some other stuff to get into, and we'll talk about Nas specifically. So let's not dive too far into that topic. And Mary, you mentioned it earlier, live performances.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are we ready to give Silk Sonic the award for best R&B album already? Like, because I feel like they could just give it to him.
All the awards, all of them.
All right, cool.
I mean, they stole the night. I expect nothing less from them, but like, I mean, just they're so refreshing. And then when they came back out to do the tribute to Little Richard, it was like, yo, like they just won. They won the night for real. So yes, their performance was the best. The messaging of social justice was pretty dope too. I mean, the Babies was great. I loved his kind of Hamilton-ish take on, you know, like with the Supreme Court justices. And I mean, Lil Baby, he made a movie.
Yeah.
And he didn't win, right?
Right.
But his performance won, that's for sure. I mean, he had some cameos from Kendrick Sampson, Tamika Mallory, who are two, you know, activists basically who are out here in real life. So I thought it was great. Yeah, I mean, listen, the controversial thing that I don't even think is worth discussing, but I guess we should for the culture, is the Cardi performance. What you would expect that to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will say this. I do think that they really don't need to do all that dancing when they're not like trained dancers. And I mean, listen, they put on a great show, like for sure. And I appreciate the effort because doing all that dancing is not easy. But there were some moments where both of them got like visibly lost in their routines. And it was like, damn, like you didn't have to do all that. You could have had all those bitches behind you, the Guardian of the Galaxy looking Gamora dancers that you had, and just, you know, did a little twerk and two-step, and it would have been just as good. Like, so I don't know. It kind of became a little overwhelming at one point, like sensory overload with that. But
so basically, you think they try to do too much?
Yes, I guess so. But I applaud the effort because it's a lot. Like performing is not easy, and this is why I'm not like so critical of performances. Not everyone can sing, dance, rap all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of moving around. So I give them props for, you know, the effort. I'm trying to think who else was fabulous. There were some really great performances, honestly. Like too many to even remember right now. But Yes, Silk Sonic is definitely the headline.
And shout out to the Grammys for allowing on such a big stage for the social justice messages to be delivered in the way that they were, non-censored, very raw. There were whole productions like Lil Baby basically made a short film. That's what he made on in that performance in the Grammys. Baylor, coming to you, what did you think about any of the performances you got to see from the Grammys?
Yeah, so I didn't watch that part either.
Okay,
When
well,
I, when, when I tell you I don't watch the Grammys or the Oscars, I
even
don't.
after the fact, you haven't watched
No,
anything after the fact. All right, that's fair.
don't
Fair.
don't
I
don't care
mean, hey,
for
if
it.
you don't like it, you don't care for it. Marquis.
Yeah, there's nothing I can say on that. I do want to. Okay, let me stop and thank everyone for making this a great show and a bow. But I want to jump on something real quick. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Jay-Z was nominated 11 times
Oh my
for hip
god.
hop.
Oh boy.
Eminem 7, Kanye 7, Drake 5, The Roots 5, Nas 5.
Okay.
1 M 6, Ye 4, Outkast 2, Kendrick 2.
Mm.
I just want to put that out there.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving on. Let's get into this whole Nas finally winning the Grammy. Let's break
Wait,
down the
I have one more
nominees.
thing to say
Go
before we
ahead,
move
Mary.
on to that.
Go ahead.
Back to the performances. I'm just wondering, and I think this is a question for our audience: is Doja Cat still canceled?
That's a good
Because
She
question.
as I was
she
live texting you guys, I was also live tweeting and live Facebooking and not really live Instagramming. That's, Anyway,
You're a
it seemed,
multitasker.
it seemed yes, I do multitask. And it seemed like everyone was actually enjoying Doja Cat's performance, which she did a good job.
Okay.
And she's someone that does traditionally dance and sing at the same time. So like she was keeping up with her steps and singing. It was good. Um, so I'm wondering if she's still canceled because it seemed like that performance, everyone was feeling her again.
You know the thing is as much vitriol as cancer culture has, right? It's only until it's the next thing to be canceled. It's in a lot of instances. So while people were completely ready to cancel Doja Cat, and they did to a degree. Since then, we got Tory Lane. Since then, we've gotten T.I. and Tiny. Since then, we've gotten more Kodak Black dumb shit. And it's just, if the music is good and the performance is good, people are going to forget about it after a while. People have a very short attention span for things like that. So while Doja Cat was canceled, people don't give a fuck about that shit past the news cycle. Nobody gives a shit about that anymore. But anything left on Doja Cat before we get into Nas winning this Grammy?
No, but I would like to preface this, but kind of to Marquis' point. Um, I would love to reach out to somebody who works for the Grammys on behalf of the show to really see if we can get clarity on the criteria
There
because
is no fucking criteria for the Grammys. They don't give a shit,
well,
especially
there's
when it
gotta
comes to
be
us.
something. Like it's kind
Yeah.
of like the algorithm to IG. Like it might change all the time, but there's some kind of rhyme or reason to it. So I don't know. I would love to try to like get someone that can shed some light on that. So I'm gonna make that my mission.
There you go. Mary has her mission for the rest of 2021. To get on this Nas thing, Nas won his first Grammy. The other nominees in this were D Smoke with Black Habits, Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist with Alfredo, Jay Electronica with a written testimony. He should get a Grammy for just how long it took him to release that fucking album, and Royce the 5'9" with the Allegory. I feel like, and I know that we were having that conversation before, that it felt like they threw one. I feel like the way that this nominee list fell together, not like, don't get me wrong, Freddie Gibbs had a great album. Jay Electronic's album was solid. Royce the 5'9", the Allegory was cool, but it's not even Royce's best body of work. Like I can't see any other into this than Nas winning. So what do you guys think of like, because he hasn't won so much before, does it at all take anything away that he won in a down year where the competitors just aren't? Nas finally having solid production was exactly what the culture was waiting for. These people don't measure up to that. But what do you guys think? Marky, I'll come to you first on it.
I think that was it. I think that's it. I think he took a modern producer and applied his verses, his style to it, and it meshed perfectly, which stood the test of time. And I think that's probably what stood out. So you're right. This album is clearly better than the other albums that we're comparing it to. The only reason I say Busta is because, yes, Busta was all around a better album to me. But a modern producer who has the ear to the street and to the sound of music right now, this was a perfect mix. I don't think anybody would dispute that, and this is why he truly deserved it. Now, I'm not going to compare it to his other performances, his other album, and the other albums that were compared to one a bit later, but I'm just going to address what we're talking about right now. So yes, I do think it was well deserved. I obviously don't think this should have been his first win, but I'll let someone else take it, and I'll jump back in later.
All right, Baylor.
I think this album would have been dope in the 90s. So what I'm saying is, it's kind of like the Lakers winning the championship in a bubble. We probably would have whooped y'all ass without the bubble. You know what I mean? So again, just because
that's a hot take. I'm sorry. I appreciate that man right now.
I understand I don't really care for it or things like that, but I am one of those. I do have an ego. So when one of ours win one of theirs, then I'm gonna continue to root. So again, I fuck with Bus album. That Freddie Gibbs album was hard, but that Nas album to me is his second best album of all time.
I agree with that.
His second best album?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
wow.
Where are you ranking it, Marquis? Where are you ranking
I
King's
didn't think
Disease?
of that, but I'm not putting not second. No, I couldn't do that.
Okay.
Oh, I got to think about that one. I wouldn't put it second.
All right.
I don't. Ooh.
I agree with a lot of the sentiments above. He deserved to win it. He did. And I also agree with what Marquis said earlier, too. He deserved to win before this as well, but we'll take it now. I would not rank that album, The King's Disease, as his second best, but it was a good album. It was. And I do agree also with what Baylor said about it being good for the 90s, too. So
agreed, 100%.
Yeah, it does. It felt like a snapshot from back then. But the fact that, and the thing that even we didn't really talk heavily about when we review the album is the fact that he had so many features from artists now.
Yeah.
And they all fit. It never felt like it was inorganic. It never felt like he had those artists on those songs to try to gain a new fan base or to get noticed or to get radio play. It really felt like he strategically placed those people on those tracks and people that he wanted to work with. Like Fivo Foreign is somebody who, like, I've listened to some of his music, but like hearing him on a track with Nas was fucking amazing to me. Like, yeah. I don't use that word lightly. Like, so this album, like, and I can understand why Baylor says this is his second best body of work, because it fixed a lot of things that were holes in Nas's game from a mainstream standpoint, right? Us hip hop heads, we've always appreciated Nas, but from a mainstream standpoint, the production, the choruses were better than probably anything he ever had, and he worked with people that it didn't feel like they were just people who had similar styles to him. It was outside of the box. So like that, I can understand all of that. I feel like this album was definitely worth it. And to Baylor's point, it should have won regardless. I still would have liked to see Busta Rhymes' album be one of the nominees on this. Just personally, as much as like Jay Electronica's album was solid, I feel like Busta's album was better, but that's a conversation for another day. But you know, that's where I stand with that. Go ahead.
I agree with you. I think, you know, in reflecting on that, we know that Busta's album was better because it was a lot more. For the mainstream, for the masses, Nas did do something that Busta didn't. It crossed genres. It grabbed a lot of different new artists, brought to light and everything. And also people, this generation now has a respect for Nas, even if they didn't respect him like we did. So I agree with that point. So King's Disease probably should have won this. But I got a rapid fire. Oh, I got.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead with it. You always do. Go ahead.
Oh shit. Okay. So I had to dig. I had to do a little digging, right? And I'm gonna list the nominations he had, and where we could place this and who he lost to. So first off, 94, Illmatic would have won. We know that, right? There's no question about that. But there was no Grammy.
Well,
for
no. Illmatic should have won.
No, there was no Grammy in 94.
There wasn't. Yeah,
that's my point.
But we know it would have won. That's what I'm saying.
No. You're not hearing me. You're not listening.
Oh, you know what?
Okay, now you got it.
I got you. Should have won.
Okay.
He was crowned the best rapper alive in 94, but you're right. Anything could happen then. So, 96 is when he dropped It Was Written, right? And then, oh my God. So, the album that won in 96 was Poverty's Paradise by Naughty by Nature. Tupac, Me Against the World, Bone Thugs and Harmony, enough respect to you. Old Dirty Bastard, Return to the 36 Chamber, and Skilo, I Wish, were the nominees. It Was Written was not at all. But he was nominated for song for If I Rule the World. Okay. In 2000, it was I Am, the rap album. I'm not going to go through all that. Performance for The Essence in 2003. In 2003, music video, One Mic. The rap album, Hip Hop Is Dead in 2008. The Nigger, Slave and the Master, rap solo performance. The Untitled Nigger album, 2009. Too Many Rappers, Daughters. Cherry Wine, Daughters, the rap song. Life Is Good was nominated. And the one he won for was King's Disease. So, with all that said, go for it.
I want to know the hell beat One Mic for best video that year. One Mic to me is still the best video ever.
Ever?
It's up there. Actually, Nas has some of the best videos.
Nas has had a lot of really good.
I love Everything Is Everything.
Yeah.
Everything Is Everything was my shit. But he lost to a lot of other rappers. And again, like I said, the Untitled album, I understand why he didn't win. That was controversial. There's a lot of... Seriously, that dude got snubbed.
Yeah.
It snubbed. So yeah, I don't know if this was he just came out. It was perfect timing. Seriously, it was the perfect time for him to drop the perfect album.
I wonder if we have him perform, and he didn't get his award live. So it's still somewhat of a snub.
Yeah.
Unless that was his preference, so let me not speak.
Yeah. I mean, he's conscious about shit like that. I don't think this album was better than Life Is Good, personally. And I'm probably not.
That's because we'll derail the podcast because I have hot takes just on you saying that alone. Maybe next week we'll break down the discography of Nas. Let's rank that next week. We'll put that.
I'm good with that.
Put that opinion there for next week. Baylor, what do you think? And I know you've gotten to say a little bit about it so far, but go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say the main reason why I said it's his second best album to me is that you could take all those features off and he'll still murder that album by himself.
But you can take features off of every album. He'll murder every album.
But the point is, I think we all agree that this is his best album with the best production.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Illmatic is his best album with his best production.
I would say Illmatic, yes, and then this one, production-wise, yes.
Production-wise, I would say this is the second best produced album. Yes.
Yeah. That there.
Illmatic was the first super produced album ever.
Okay.
What about it next week? That's all conversations for next week. Go ahead, keep going, Baylor.
No, that's it.
All right, Mary. Anything left before we switch to the next topic?
Nope, I'm good. Until next week.
So be on the lookout next week. We'll be ranking Nas's discography, which that is just bound to fucking devolve into some fucking craziness. Let's get into the next topic though. Candace Owens is threatening to sue Cardi B over their continued Twitter feud. First of all, why has nobody punched Candace Owens in the face yet? Like why of all the things that should have happened, and she's right up there with Tariq at season 5 of Power, that she just needs her ass beat. Why has nobody pulled up on Candace Owens yet? That's my opinion. Mary, I guess
she will sue.
Well, there you have it. Yeah, I guess she'll definitely press charges. Mary, you gonna be seeing Candace Owens in the mall at any point in time?
Listen, you already know. That if Cardi B saw Candace Owens in person, it would probably be on and popping. But here's what I will say though about the foolery that went down on Twitter today. Um, and I guess to kind of give a little overview for people who may not be so educated on this, Candace Owens, basically tagged Cardi B and was like, since you're my biggest promoter, and, basically, made an announcement about an appearance she's going to make in a couple of days and, kind of tagged Cardi B in that way. So then Cardi B, retweets it and is like, I'm your mother. Like, you call me mama, whatever. And it would just turn into like this whole big back and forth. And then, yes, it ended with them threatening to sue each other. What I will say is that at this point, Candace Owens does not deserve our energy, attention, or anything else. And I kind of wish Cardi B would have just ignored her ass. Like, my mom taught me a long time ago, my Southern mother, like, everything does not need a response. Except for if motherfuckers are bothering you in your face, then you whoop their ass. But like this whole Twitter finger shit, really, it's like it should be beneath Cardi at this point. And yes, Candace Owens is totally using Cardi as a publicity generator. Definitely. So I'm kind of like annoyed that Cardi fell for it.
Yeah.
This is beneath us.
Go ahead, Marquis.
Oh, you want me to say something?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I got more to say about Nas' album than this shit. Like, seriously, it's like, still hanging on a nigga's nuts. I don't know. She's doing anything she can to get herself out there. Donald Trump ain't there for her to promote and hold his ass up or whatever. I don't know. I really don't give a fuck about this chick. And you're right. Cardi B should not have fell for this shit. But, maybe she has a new album coming out, so she want to promote that. So Little Beef can help promote it. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm surprised she lasted this long. She's like the Hodge twins. Like, they just need to be in your face to tell you, you're still on a plantation kind of shit. Yeah, fuck out of here.
And people like Candace Owens, Tommy Lauren, Ben Shapiro, now that Trump isn't in office, like, you see that they're like, they're clamoring for the attention that they were getting because Trump gave them so much fuel to their fire. And now it's just to see these people who were like at the head of media for a while and the social media thing just all flounder around. Ben Shapiro's trying to make a movie with fucking I forgot their name at this point. Like, it's embarrassing. And this is the thing that why it was hard to ever take them seriously. Like, there is some stuff rooted in what Candace Owens says that I truly think that she thinks she's helping her people. She's an idiot, but I think she truly feels that she's doing what she can. And at this point, it's just so? Like, I really do think.
You think she considers us her people?
I think she thinks she's helping black people, and that's what makes it's the Thanos mindset, right? You are so convicted by what you want to do that you think it's the right thing to do. That you are just so blinded by that you don't see that you're doing more harm than good. Go ahead.
I would agree.
Go ahead.
I got to shoot Thanos some bail because at least he makes more sense than her. So
that is true.
I would agree with that if she didn't do it on social media. If she did it behind the scenes and did shit to push the envelope and enlighten people, but she's doing it on the stage. So
that's why I feel like this gives me Big and Pac vibes. Meaning that I wouldn't be surprised if this shit is staged.
Damn. Okay.
I don't think Cardi B needs it.
Yeah, Cardi doesn't need it.
I mean, hey, look, I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of these celebrities don't need that much attention, but a lot of the celebrities like a lot of attention. Shout out to Kanye.
It's that drug. It's that drug. No, seriously, it becomes a drug.
6.6 billion. A lot of niggas need that drug. So I get it. She don't need it. She don't. But you never know you don't know what that fame drug turns you into.
I told Mary this today. I heard one of the greatest phrases. The moment you become a celebrity, you stop growing up. Because no one tells you no. Now you get attention, you got that fame drug, and that's where you're stuck at. You're stalled at that age. Still seeking for attention, not growing at all, but seeking attention.
And you might get, and that person that you turn into might get used to that energy. You know what I mean? And when you turn into that person and you're not getting that energy, and again, a lot of these celebrities lost that energy because of the pandemic. And so some of them had to create creative ways to keep that energy flowing. And again, I I think Cardi is up there to where she doesn't need to do anything like this. But at the same time, I don't, and I will never trust celebrities. So I really feel like some of this shit do be staged.
And I agree with that, but I think in this case, and I could be wrong, but I think that Cardi is just so Bronx that she's not going to back down from someone who is stepping to her, even if it's via tagging her in a tweet. Like,
But just saying that it's staged doesn't mean that she doesn't really have hard feelings towards her. Again, both parties can win on this side.
yeah.
Man, fuck that shit. Somebody please just smack the shit out of her. But let's go ahead.
Hayes didn't say that. We don't want to get sued.
Oh, we can split all 5 pennies and 10 Asian bitches right now. Like
No, hey, look. Hey, I'm gonna say this. What happened today in Atlanta? I think we got to chill on
I
those.
know
Oh,
we're not even
yeah,
any.
yeah.
I'm not participating in those jokes.
Fair enough. But look, Marquis is definitely gonna still make the jokes. Give him 2 weeks. He's gonna be back making them. So we got some music to actually review finally. This EP by Drake, Scary Hours 2. Who wants to talk about it first?
It's just more of the same.
Same shit. It's the same. It's the same
Hey,
shit.
I like the one track
That's
that
it.
he had with
First one.
was it with Baby?
Oh no, I don't like that one.
No,
I
no,
like
You don't like that
no,
one?
no. That's the
I like
second one.
What's the first one?
What's next?
Everybody
That's
went
not- that's the only
bonkers
one I like.
over the freestyle with Rick Ross. I didn't think that shit was anything special, but you can't tell them that.
You can't tell Drake fans shit, bro. Like,
I mean,
But
great songs just make really good IG captions. Like that's to me the purpose. And I don't even do that, but I feel like that's their purpose. Like he knows his formula and he just rinse and repeat. Like this is what he's doing now, which I'm not mad at him for because hey, if I had a formula that was making me millions of dollars, I think I'd just
You wouldn't.
no,
You wouldn't. You want to know why? You would grow because you want to grow. That's the difference.
true. But the way
Yeah.
that I look at Drake's career at this point, and this isn't to hate, this isn't to do any of that because you know he makes fucking he is hip hop, but unfortunately he is music. But it's like
Shout out to Bow Wow.
it's like if you run a really great pick and roll in basketball and it can't be stopped. Like the Tony Parker Tim Duncan pick and roll was the most boring shit to ever watch in the NBA in the finals, but it was the most successful thing for 12 fucking years. And at this point, that's what Drake is for. He's figured out the perfect pick and roll, and he just runs the same gameplay until somebody can stop it. He's gonna keep running the same play.
Which leads to a great conversation that Mary brought up: hip hop and basketball, how they go hand in
All
hand.
the time.
But
all the time.
We'll go on for that. I'll let her present that.
All the time.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
But and Baylor, I know you like linking everything back to sports. What do you think about that comparison I make? Do you agree? Do you don't?
no, you're right. He figured out the algorithm. Like he's the algorithm god. So at this point, whatever he does is gold because in my opinion doesn't matter. I would love to have a sit down with Drake though and just tell him like, look, you as an actor, my guy, that shit is phenomenal. As an artist, as a pop artist, you're phenomenal as well. As a hip hop artist, we have to talk about something. Okay?
Would you look him in the eyes and say that?
Absolutely.
Like,
Why wouldn't I? I'm not scared.
And all he's gonna do is start
that.
singing to you. That's all he's gonna start doing. He's gonna serenade the shit out of you.
PTG, why do you hate on me?
And then I'm gonna tell him in a nice way. Look, I like Chris Brown a little bit more. Chrissy B. I think he can do everything better, but whatever.
All right, Mary.
I mean, I think I started off.
I know,
saying,
but
like,
the because Marquis kind of threw it back to you.
Some lemon pep on it.
Yeah.
Put some lemon pep
Come on now. Put a little stank on it.
Yo, and my wife did buy me some lemon pepper seasoning.
I'm gonna drop a lemon pepper style. No, I don't know. I feel like
bars.
For me at this point, it's all background music now, Drake. Like it's, you know what I mean? I don't even listen to it for lyrical content.
I don't think I've ever listened to it for lyrical content, but
My girl, yeah, like it. So.
Oh man. All right. Well, that is Marquis. Do you have anything left to add to Scary Hours too? Because I know you were bumping that in Little Bow Wow. I know that's just
Word. Do right and kill everything. Bow wow. Right.
I
I
will
told you.
Memes of him with the do-rag though are hysterical.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah. I'm telling you, he's the modern day LL. Seriously.
No,
no.
that's giving him way too much credit.
Yeah, that's way
Oh,
too much right
no,
there.
you're missing what I'm saying. Oh, shit. He's really about to fuck me up. No, I'm saying the modern day. No one thinks about how hood. Remember, I remember LL fucking up a burglar going to his house with his bare hands. That's some real shit. That's what we're used to. This generation, that's unheard of. This is this generation's LL. He
So
makes
that's
music, licks his lips.
Yeah, but at
like,
least LL had a character called God. You know what I mean? And that was that was a scary
And that movie
nigga.
sucked.
Hey, look, I don't teach niggas how to shoot. And he missed on purpose. He missed on purpose.
Very good. Give me
But
the walk. Give me the walk.
LL didn't miss with that pool stick, though. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Oh man, Marquis, what do you
Y'all need to
got?
find that movie if y'all know it.
Yeah, definitely.
LL was a lyricist.
He is a lyricist.
And he was
Yeah,
and he was a
Drake
pool
is not
wrote
shark.
deserve to be compared. I'm sorry.
He wrote it. What'd you say, Bill?
I said he was a pool shark. Something like a phenomenon. Oh man,
Marquis, black people like rock too. What you got for us this week, man?
Oh shit. Okay. So, oh shit. This week has kind of gotten to me.
Ice-T won a Grammy.
Mm.
I just threw it for a fucking loop.
So again, for body count.
Yeah,
right?
for body
that
count.
Album,
yeah.
Right? Here's the thing. Throw him a bone. The album sucked. I'm sorry. I heard it. Here's what I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna start like this. And I think that the Grammys has inspired me to reflect on things. So when are we gonna get our credit for creating rock?
Never.
Are we ever gonna get credit for that?
Never.
Like, we created rock music, right?
We talked about this. We created country music too, and they definitely aren't giving black people credit for creating country music, and we absolutely did. But go ahead.
Okay, so Folklore, which is Taylor Swift's album that she won a Grammy for Album of the Year again, is basically some shit that we created, right? Yeah. Okay. So we gave away hip hop. Am I wrong? Because we gave it to the Beastie Boys, they mass produced it. Now we got Eminem, everybody, and I'll give Eminem a lot of credit because he actually has skills. But we no longer control hip hop. It's now in the Asian markets and the white market. Am I wrong?
We haven't controlled hip hop for a long time. Yeah, bro. That's
okay. So if we started doing rock again, would we get that back and get that stolen away from us?
Once it's gone, you can never get it back. You can never go home, bro.
Where else will we go?
We got to create something new again.
That shit cool again.
We're gonna create something new again.
I think, and I think that's what Future did. Try to create this whole auto-tune sound, that lean kind of.
Are we giving Future credit for creating auto-tune sound now? Is that what we're doing?
No.
Okay.
No. I know that's T-Pain and the rest of them, but he made it. He made it where it went to hip hop and that whole lean genre where the mumblecore started with him. Am I right?
Okay. True.
Okay. So that whole genre. And the rest of these rappers right now are a product of that. All I'm saying is, wherever we go from here is electronic or whatever the fuck. If we start picking up guitars again, and Triple X did that. He actually had an album that sounded a little bit like a Kurt Cobain mixed with a little hip hop kind of fusion. But if we ever went back to that genre again and made it something, do you think it would become the trend again? Because that's what we do, is set trends and they get taken away from us, like Supreme, like Gucci and the rest of them shits who just happen to pop off of our backs, and the rest of the Latinx culture who decides to just step in the door and just take credit for shit that we kick down the doors for. I'm just asking, as a black person, to other black people.
Here's the thing: is once anything but gets in the zeitgeist, it's no longer whoever created it. That's universal to anything. What makes it worse in our experience and what's highlighted is that how much more shit are you guys going to take from us?
I guess as much as we allow them to take. Because The only thing we can do now is talk about killing niggas because that's what we can get on the radio, or we can make some shit that you just don't understand. That's the only thing black people can do, unless you're Drake, but he's a light skinned nigga, so you can get away with it.
No light skin slander on this
Well,
podcast, good sir. But go ahead, Mary.
And he lighter than you too, sir. He's lighter than you too.
I think that, well, I don't know about me. Anyway,
I'm darker than you, Mary. Go ahead.
anyway, we're not gonna have colorism here, okay? I rebuke this messaging. I think that what hip hop has, modern day hip hop has morphed into is an amalgamation, honestly, of rock and alternative and what we used to know as hip hop. I mean, XXX wasn't the only one that did that. Juice World definitely had a lot of alternative influence.
Yeah,
Even
Trippie Redd
a
does
lot.
too.
What?
Trippie Redd did too. I know. I got it.
Right, Trippie Redd. Even some of Lil Baby and the Baby stuff is very, you could hear some alternative influences there. And in a lot of instances, they sometimes start kind of half singing in an alternative kind of way. So I think that it's very much, the influence is still there. Will it go back to the way that it was in like the 90s, like in the heyday? No. But I think that it really is kind of like a gumbo of all of those genres of music now. And I mean, again, we've said this previously, hip hop really has morphed into pop.
Yeah.
And that's a mixture of all that.
I guess where I'm going with this is we're not going to go anywhere until we decide where we're going to go and someone else to mass produce it and take away from us. That's all I'm saying. What we did with rock, we made rock and it got taken away from us. What we did with hip hop, what we did with R&B, what we did with soul, I mean, it's taken away and it's mass produced. And now who's winning Grammys off the back of us? Here you are. So whatever we do next, are we going to own it? Because we gave away verses. Are we going to own anything? Are we going to own a sound? Are we going to own a company? What are we going to own?
Well, we're working towards ownership, right? Like, at least at this point now, the artists are finally, for the most part, in control of their own. Like, that was the first step. For so long, these artists were making music. They didn't own their masters. They didn't own their publishing. They didn't own shit. Now we're at least at a standpoint now where people have the platform to own their own stuff. Now it's up to them to hold on to ownership of it. We talked about a month ago about Lil Wayne selling Young Money and that whole catalog away. That catalog could have been worth billions in 10 to 15 years. When you think about having all of Drake's and Nicki Minaj's catalog up until their most recent albums, that alone, and then everything from the Carter 1 all the way to the Carter 3, I think is what he owned as well. Like, it's ridiculous that a catalog like that is, regardless of what you think about the music or the artist, that was a special catalog to own. And the fact that that was sold away, what it is, and that's the thing. As much as we say and we try to blame these entities and these companies for mass producing our music or our culture, the thing is that the people who are creating it need to want to hold it, because everyone wants to make money. Their first mindset is on making money, so they sell what they have. Even Wu-Tang, let's look at what Wu-Tang did in selling that album. Like, so people want to make money. We need to find out now a way to make money, and then not only to focus on the making money now, but we need to be educated on what in the long run the money that we can make, that future sale. And that's what the companies and our counterparts have always had their mind on, is that they look at you that they can make $5 off you now, but by owning your publishing, they can make $100 off you 6 years from now. And that's the thing that our people have never stayed focused on. But go ahead.
So, segue, shout out. Speaking of the Carter, shout out to Maverick. Shout out to LeBron for getting a piece of the Red Sox. That's where you go. And shout out to Pat Mahomes for getting a piece of the Royals. That's what I'm talking about. That's legacy. That's holding on to shit and getting into and making a dent into those franchises so we can get some ownership in. Where I'm tying this in from rock to that, again, I just want to make sure that we, the culture, sustain it, grow it, and do something with it. So it doesn't have to just stay in music either. Like I said, LeBron is still part of that culture. Am I right?
Yeah.
And Maverick and the rest of them, go ahead.
So there's two things that are stemming from this. I don't know if you guys heard, but like just this week, I believe it was Anita Baker who kind of asked all her fans not to stream her music because she's in a battle right now for her masters. So I think the wokeness is now here. I mean, look, even she's an older artist who, is now like, oh, hell nah. The days of us giving this away are over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but to your point, Marquis, where you're going with the ownership and like how it's not just in music, but all these other factions, I guess, encompass hip hop culture. It reminds me of a conversation you and I were having this week where it's like, what really is hip hop culture? And I think that might be like, a question that we really should ask our audience and kind of come back next week on. Because, I mean, we said earlier, you said how, basketball has always been viewed as a part of hip hop culture. Not so much football, probably because of the NFL's, issues with systemic racism or at least addressing it. But yeah, like what really are the factors that make up hip hop culture?
Our creativity.
Well, right, but so is it anywhere where there are black people, or are these other, minority groups a part of it as well? I
Who
mean, a lot of questions.
who created hip hop?
Black people,
Where?
the
New,
Bronx,
Bronx.
and what color were they?
black.
Black.
Okay. All right.
And that's
But who made it mainstream?
It belongs to us though.
Who made it mainstream?
And
Because it
then
was
the
supposed to
day
die out with us, wasn't
and
it?
the day no, it doesn't die out because it was born in. I don't want to get
I
deep.
agree with you. I agree with you. But hear me out. The most Grammy winning person who got nominated 7 times, won 6, was Eminem. And Beastie Boys was a carbon copy of Run DMC, had more mainstream success than Run DMC.
Right. That's because we don't. Okay.
well, okay, but that's only taking initially because you still have to give it to what NWA was able to do and make
Right.
they definitely played a part in making hip hop and gangster rap at that mainstream. Like so hip hop always has these splinters, right? Hip hop isn't one thing. Hip hop is and that goes back to Mary saying it's this gumbo. Hip hop is it's all encompassing for one because it's reflective of us and we are everything. So like there's a many different lanes you can go with hip hop and music in general. That is why almost every type of music is rooted somewhere in our culture because we do it all.
So part of what brought this conversation up, right? I don't know if you guys saw this bit of news, and I meant to bring it to your attention. Um, so a cast member or a former cast member of Hamilton basically wrote like an op-ed piece saying that anyone who was a key decision maker or an originator of Hamilton was either white or white passing with, light skin privilege. And then also there were some, like homophobic things there. But whatever the case is, it did make me stop for a minute because I'm a huge fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda, especially his work. I mean, In the Heights is like one of my favorite plays ever, and I'm super hyped that the movie's coming out, as you guys probably know ad nauseum, because I've been sending you the trailer and all the announcements in our group chat. And I always looked at him as a part of the culture, but then to kind of read that maybe, just maybe, there is a separation, at least in his own mind and in how he treats our people, that kind of threw me. And then it made me start thinking, I mean, obviously, like Hamilton in the Heights, these Freestyle Love Supreme, which was an amazing, genius, long running Broadway show that the premise was freestyle hip hop, right? Like the audience, it was an interactive show with the audience where the audience would pick topics and the characters would freestyle rhyme about those topics. That's basically what it was. So like that's all the culture, but like again, kind of to Marquis' point, does it belong to us and we've been robbed, or is this something we're sharing? I don't know. Like and I'm not saying I have the answer. I'm putting it out there. I'm still pondering this myself. So
I'll
I'd
say
love
it's
to know
both.
everyone's thoughts.
Yeah, it's a mixture of both. It's a mixture of both because it's the thing that I think has always separated it and made it an issue is not just the fact that people use, imitate, or it's that they stop paying respect to where it's all started from. And that's
Right.
what like makes somebody like Eminem different. Eminem is so respectful of our culture. and battle rap and hip hop in general. And so that's why when people say things like he's an outsider, people even within the culture argue back against that, because how can you call somebody an outsider who not only grew up in it but is so respectful of it at the same time? So
Agreed.
it's one of those conversations that it can go
I
everywhere.
agree with you on that because he paid homage to it. And this is why Lord Jamar's argument is irrelevant to me. Like anything Lord Jamar said, first off, you weren't even the best rapper in your own group. You actually the worst rapper in your own group. I don't give him any credence. So I never doubt Eminem, but I'm saying like, and it's probably like the fucked up part about it is he has to bear that burden where I'm white and I'm celebrated. It's in hip hop, but he does appreciate the culture itself. So I'm never gonna knock him. I'm just saying, looking at it, where are we going? What's being taken away from us? And like you said, you posed the question perfectly. Are they working with us, or are they just basically taking the spotlight from us off of our backs, like J-Lo?
Right.
Feel
Who
me?
I feel like we all did give her a pass like 20 years ago with Real when she dropped the N-bomb.
The N-bomb. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
then that's a decision we, the culture, regret.
Yes. So that was my point. Again, I don't want to dig too far into it. The whole Black people like rock 2 segment, I'm glad you all shared. Appreciate it. I assume we're supposed to go on a break, but you know what? We're not there. So I'm going to dig back into these Grammys. How about that?
I cannot.
I have to. I'm sorry. I have to. No, there was some good albums.
No, the hell you are not. We are going to go ahead and get into Snowfall season 4.
Hey, look at me. I was like, woo.
Because I was gonna go in, bruh.
You want to talk about a Stone Cold intro?
You said,
hey, he was about to go rogue all the way. Like Marquis said, oh, Hayes is gone? Fuck it. I got this.
give me the baton. Say no more.
This Marquis. Hayes gone? Oh, yeah.
Ain't that some shit? Oh, man.
Rangers is about to turn up.
Season 4, Snowfall. We've been catching up slowly but surely on this season of what I think is truly one of the best written shows.
Catch up slowly but surely. It's the slowest show, but it's the best show. But go ahead. Sorry.
But you know what? That's the thing. Like, yeah, the storytelling can be very slow at sometimes, and even the episodes. But still, at the end of every episode, it's like, damn, is it over already?
Yeah, especially with the cliffhangers that they've been leaving.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Go ahead, Braylon. You can take it first, man. What you been thinking about Snowfall so far? The most recent episode.
It's the timeline that's really getting me. Their own pace of I want to see how. I just want to see how the rest of the season ends up because, like I said, them implementing the gang culture and how thick it was in LA at that time is key to me. You know what I mean? Especially the last scene. I got a lot of text messages about that, and I was like, look, as sad as it was, that was reality out here. You know what I mean? And it was a pretty. That was a pretty graphic scene for me to see. At the same time, I see how they're trying to put it all together. So, yeah, that's a tough one right there.
Mary?
I mean, I agree. It's like I appreciate the realism in the show because there's no gang war that, my mom used to always say bullets don't have no names on them. So clearly, women, children all become, unintentional casualties when you're in these situations. I'm wondering what that does to Leon as a character, because he could go one of two ways, right? He could become even more cold-hearted, or he could be like, I need to get the fuck out of this game because,
I'm so glad you said that because someone asked me about Leon. I was like, he can only go two ways. He's either going to turn into a monster or he's going to leave the game alone completely.
Right. But
I got a prediction.
That's not something you just quit. Like, you don't give 2 weeks notice. So leaving the game alone completely means he's going to have to, like, leave town or some shit. So, and I got
a prediction.
So I don't want to see him do that. But then on the same token, him staying means I think he's gonna have to get,
It's a war.
gangster, like more so. And then
A
I'm wondering
war.
what's gonna happen to Wanda. She's gonna get clean, and then what? I mean, listen, real talk. She saved their lives in that moment.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
so I don't know. I feel like that's interesting. Um, I don't know. I feel like it seems like, at least from the previews, that that even Franklin are gonna kind of be at war, and I don't like that. But I get it, but I don't like it.
So,
So
let me take it.
go ahead.
Okay. I think my take on all this, like I always do, the best thing for me is to let the whole season record so I can watch the whole thing in one shot, like you said with Justice League.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's my prediction. He's going to kill Franklin, and that's going to be season finale. He has to. The only person, because that right there was an awakening for him. Like he watched Franklin kill his boy, the only person that can get close enough to take Franklin out because he is the poison would be him. That's my prediction.
So that's the series finale, because
That would be it. That would be it. It's not going to be this season. It's not going to be this season. But the person that's going to get close enough to take him out, because that's the only way. Because Franklin is always going to think. He basically said he's doing this for the people, our businesses. No, he's doing this for himself. He's not recognizing that. He's not doing this for our people. He basically created the crack culture, and he's killing our people. He's the virus now. The only person that's going to be able to take him out is, I'm sorry, that's what's going to be the finale.
The government created the crack system.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But he also helps. He supplied that shit like a mother. The RZA created crack. Wu-Tang.
And he would.
But that's my theory.
Well, here's the thing. So this is now applying real life logic to the show, which may not. I mean, there's only two ways out for a kingpin, right? Like dead or in jail. So I don't know.
That can go to Cuba.
Well, right. You got to get over that body of water, but.
For me,
so you say the finale ends whenever Franklin dies, right? Is that basically what I'm gathering? Because I see this going the power route. I see Franklin dying or whatever, and then we get flash forward 20 years later. Franklin or Leon's son is running the gang empire, and we get a spinoff.
Or does Frank?
That's different. That's a prequel.
Or does Franklin
but Better Call Saul is amazing though. So I mean,
and get some kind of immunity based off of his relationship with Reed/Teddy, whatever we calling him.
Yeah, but that still doesn't save him from the streets.
Well, somewhat. They'll relocate him to like Iowa, and he'll have a new name and identity.
That's not who he is, though.
And
I don't see that.
Really could, now with the technology, you really are never off the grid. But back in those days, moving to another state really did give you a new chance at life. Like,
based on who he is as a person, he gets off on that power. I can't see that for him.
I think Franklin is too clever to get.
We don't know where it's gonna go though.
I mean,
he got shot by a person he loved.
I think I mean, to her point, this was a person that he was in love with.
Right.
It's not too many people that can get that close. I mean, it was her.
Exactly.
You can say his family, and that's about it. He has a very small circle.
And who's the one person he's still trying to get in touch with to make things right with?
I mean, look, it's when you're dealing with those demons, man.
You can't trust anybody.
Which is our point with Leon. Leon is going to be dealing with those demons.
Yeah,
I know that, and he's going to be trying to get. You know what? The only person who can control or neutralize Franklin would be Leon. There's no other adversary.
I'll say this. I think the total opposite. I think Leon is gonna get killed.
Where do we think Man Boy is gonna go?
I think Man Boy
In
will
I
kill
hiding.
hope to
Leon.
hell very soon. That's where I hope.
He ain't going because that's the character you love to hate. The characters you love to hate don't go anywhere
You can create new
for a
characters
while.
that you love to hate.
Him and his velour suits.
Right, man. They're not
He
going to do
be
character development off the fly.
hey, he be decked out though. No, I think Man Boy's gonna kill Leon. I think that's overdue.
I think one
Okay.
of them is gonna kill each other. They've been building
They
up
have to.
for a while.
They have to. Yeah.
Man Boy's going to die. Leon's not going to die.
That nigga name is
Remember
Man
this
Boy.
recording. We're going to reference this one.
Shoot that nigga.
Don't get tased, Hayes.
From the woods. I forget. He's still alive too. The dude in the woods, Stacy from the woods.
That nigga
Man.
crazy.
Super crazy.
He was
And
super.
he's not even in character.
He's actually not like that. Have you ever seen an interview with him like not acting?
Oh, I've met the nigga plenty of times in real life.
Oh, well, yeah, you should. I forgot who I was fucking talking to, you know.
Is it like the little John snip from Chappelle? I'm sorry, sir.
That's why I said the nigga ain't, that's not even a character.
So,
All right.
what about Jam and Jerome? I feel like he's starting to get tired of all this shit.
Hey man, when Jerome died, I'm gonna be so sick. That's like the best.
Everybody
That's
is.
like the,
And
that's
he's
the
going to
best
die.
uncle ever.
You know he's going to die. Yep. True.
He be ready. What's up, nephew?
This is going to end very much like Breaking Bad ends. Either Leon's gonna die or everyone around him's gonna die. There's no way around that. It's either everyone he's close to has to die one by one, or it's him. There's no other way that this ends.
I gotta say this though. Like these arrogant and I mean just selfish ass niggas know what type of lifestyle that they're in. You know you have a child in the back seat. At this point, bro, you just pull off. You don't even engage into anything like that, bro.
For real. And you
Yeah.
know what I was gonna say too? Not for nothing, but and again, I don't want to sound judgy, whatever, because I mean, sometimes I look back at situations I was in when I was a teenager, and I'm like, how am I alive? But you know, not as a mother. Like when you have a kid, you got to know that you can't be rolling around with dudes who are about that life. Like,
That's true too.
not that like it was her fault or she deserved it or anything, but it is like, come on, bro. Like,
That's true too. That's true too. I mean, it's true. You know, some some women and kids are in a situation that it's hard for them to get away from.
yeah,
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah, we know.
But let's get into our last topic for today. Moving the fuck on, cause you motherfuckers, fucking Marquis trying to go rogue and take over the fucking show. I was gone for 2 minutes. This motherfucker just was gonna
Nigga,
go
you
all.
shouldn't be gone for 2 minutes then. What you expect the nigga to do?
And Mary
That-
allowed it
hey,
to happen.
Hey,
What the hell? She's just sitting back, just allowing this shit to happen.
Listen,
that nigga broke that flute out so fast.
Wu-Tang, nigga. You better diversify your bonds, nigga.
But I figured with Nas finally winning his Grammy, it would be a great way to end the show on us each giving one or a couple of albums that never really won awards that we feel should have. So who wants to take this one away first?
I mean, after we've done a whole shit that.
Albums that should have won awards that didn't?
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, I'll tell you one person who I felt like got snubbed on Sunday. My girl, Janae Aiko. But I will give her much props because she tweeted right after she didn't win. One of the lines from her song with Nas, actually, 10,000 Hours. And she was really like, I know what it's like to lose, do you? And was really like, LOL. So good that she could make fun of herself and all that. But I felt like that was foul, what they did to her.
All right. I got mine is easy. Mine came to me so fucking easy I'll give it first. We got it from here. Thank you for your service. A Tribe Called Quest.
Wait, what? That what? They should have won a Grammy, you said? Oh, yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah. For the first two albums, absolutely. Three
Sure.
albums. First
Yeah.
three albums.
So,
Okay.
anyone else? You guys still
Oh,
thinking?
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh. Just looking it up. Shit. Well, obviously, Buster. Clearly, Buster. Apparently, Brian
12
McKnight has 17
nominees.
nominations but never won.
Who?
Brian McKnight has 17 nominations but never won.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Mark, real quick, I need you to look this up. How many nominations does Soulja Boy have?
Probably the same amount Bow Wow does.
Okay, so that's my argument. That's my
Okay.
argument right there.
I love that argument. Snoop Dogg was nominated for 16, never won.
Man, that's crazy. He over there
DMX?
cooking with white women, and this nigga still ain't.
Word. I know, right? Like, dude is. Katy Perry never won.
And she got a song with Snoop Dogg. That's fucked up.
Word. Diana Ross only won a Lifetime Achievement, but no Grammys.
Oh man.
Notorious B.I.G.?
He never won one?
Never
Well,
won a
he only
Grammy.
had, he was, That's fucked up. Again, his album came out, what, 95? Right before 96, yeah.
Right.
Nicki Minaj never won.
Tupac never won a Grammy.
Wow. Blake Shelton.
We about to go. This has already jumped the shark in 2 minutes.
I have one though.
Okay.
I will say this: the all-time most infamous Grammy moment.
Uh-oh.
I mean, y'all already know what this is. When ODB interrupted the program to tell everyone that Wu-Tang was for the children.
For the children.
And won. So, I always have to be on brand with my Wu, and that's gonna.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all of this, the one album that is from a legendary artist that is somebody who's of the culture that never won a Grammy, over Tupac, over Biggie, over Nas up to this point, was Beware of the Dog.
We done?
Have a good night.
Yeah. Okay.
This has been another episode of The Breaks Radio.
I did like that Run the Jewels album. That was a pretty good album.
Oh yeah, Run the Jewels, definitely. Mary, go ahead and give me your social media. Let's get the fuck up out of here.
I'm at Miss Mary Almonte on all social platforms. And you could also see me at Young Urban Moms and at Just Spice with the Y. Tee hee hee.
He didn't raise his eyebrows. I was waiting for him to raise up.
I know.
At this point, he's tired. Like, yo, you can
I
make a
know.
connection or not.
I mean, listen, stay tuned for some.
Yo,
maybe.
he gave her a shout out on his review, his album review of his movie review of Coming to America.
Yeah.
I gave her legs a shout out, but
Spread for me.
That's not what I said. Stop, Baylor. Go ahead and give me your social media.
Miley Cyrus had an album too.
Okay. At Bailey the Great on all social media platforms. BTG for President, overrun with BTG, part of the Red Sonnets Network. 2 announcements I want to make. One, I do want to bring to the Breaks Radio, and that is I'm starting up Art Culture Hall of Fame, and the criteria is PTSD, impact, longevity, and originality. And this will be to give you an example. The first episode has already been made, and I've already voted. There will be 5 nominations. Only 2 can get in per episode. And so to give you an example, baseball hats, slap boxing, Hot Wheel track, ass whoopings, iceberg, and syrup sandwiches is the first 5 nominations. Second, I'm in Clubhouse Court, and I'll be in court next week, next Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm in court, and it's because I like malto meal, brown sugar malto meal. So, majority of the jurors are from Ohio, believe it or not, and there are some from the East
Is
Coast.
Black Paco on there?
No, Black Flacco's not on there. I don't even think he's on Clubhouse yet. I don't think so.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'll be in court for that, fighting for my life. If I do lose that case, then everybody that's a part of that particular room has control over my Twitter adby for a whole week.
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting. All right. Well, I have nothing with stakes that high. Marquis, you want to go ahead and get
Nigga,
your
I ain't
social
following
media?
that shit. What's the follow? God damn. South City got a dope album. Shout out to Ohio's finest. God damn, motherfucker. Don't shoot a nigga? Shit. God damn. How the fuck do you follow some shit like that?
I don't know.
Yo,
Bailey be coming out of left wing with that shit, but that's awesome.
yo, two things. Y'all about to drop this shit. It's about to happen. Y'all tune in. Apparently, we're going to be reviewing this movie coming out. I like that pick. You about to pick that fro or that beard? You going up and down?
The beard.
Word. We about to review that movie, that 4-hour movie. I'm down with that. Yeah, I ain't plugging nothing else in. I just whatever BTG doing because it sounds like it's some important shit happening. I'm good.
You can follow me at CEO Hayes, the CEO HAIZE. But I need everyone who's under the sound of my voice to go to the Instagram page of Just Spice and leave under the comments, Catherine, get at Hayes. That's all I need everyone to do on weaponizing the followers and the listenership. That is go under Just Spice Instagram page, and I don't give a fuck what the post is. Leave that. That's what. That's all it is.
I mean,
hashtag.
I don't know.
Hashtag get that ass.
you can follow us collectively at The Breaks Radio. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, thebreaksradio@gmail.com. If you want to leave us a voicemail, you can do so at 614-547-2039. We are the #1 podcast for the culture, and this week, we out this bitch. Peace.